Early in the morning a young man cautiously peeks through a corner, holding his school bag tightly. Examining the area thoroughly, he decides it's safe enough and so with a brave step he crosses the street. Always around me, no matter when, criminals will always smile upon me. His name is Ichimura Tamito. A magnet for unusual crimes like hit and run, pickpocketing, robbery, mole. Crumpled down on the floor he begins writing down the type of vehicle and the plate number of his assailant. He's prepared because he's used to being a natural-born victim, someone that attracts criminals like how a piece of candy attracts ants. Every crime from the unusual like being kidnapped the day of his birth to the textbook like being the victim of a burglar. He has been a victim of it all. He's usually more guarded but today he's quite nervous. Once again cautiously peeking beyond the corner. Ichimura runs for his life, his safety bell ringing like a fire alarm. Ichimura runs so quickly that he's able to separate himself a good few feet away from the assailant, causing the criminal to turn his attention to someone else. With both hands on the handle he thrusts forward. Ichimura pushes the girl away, the blade penetrating the middle of his chest. He falls flat on the floor, his personal alarm still ringing as the criminal sprints away, leaving Ichimura and the screaming girl. He groans, clutching his chest and moving his hand to turn off his alarm. Surprising the girl, she's surprised that he's okay. Ichimura starts unbuttoning his coat, revealing a bulletproof vest under his coat. He laments that his magnetic pull on criminals has caused another outsider to get involved again. He picks himself up, asking if the girl is fine. The girl thanks him for saving her but he humbly dismisses such praise. "I'm glad you're okay." He excuses himself, leaving the smitten girl red and frozen. A frustrated Ichimura starts running, the memory of being shunned because of his magnetic pull on criminals, troubling his mind. But with a determined look he stomps his feet, making the decision that this time for sure, he'll make friends. "I'm Ichimura Tamito, pleased to meet you." He introduces himself, a smile on his face. The teacher points a finger to a seat in the middle, requesting him to take that seat. As he makes his way to the seat he can't help but observe that the class seems a bit small. He's also quite troubled that he's already being ignored on his first day. The classroom door swings open as a student excuses herself for her tardiness. She rushes to her seat, the one behind him as their eyes meet once again. Cutting the silence he tells her jovially about how small their class is. She introduces herself as Komori Hinako. Averting her eyes, and stuttering her words. Ichimura is delighted at her introduction even if she kept turning her face away from him. Suddenly Ichimura comes to a revelation. He's chatting away with a classmate after school. He never thought that the scene he yearned for would come true at last. A happy Ichimura loses himself in his daydreams, dreaming that he may even become friends with her if this keeps up. The pair says their goodbyes, promising to see each other tomorrow. "See you tomorrow," he repeats in his mind with a smile on his face. He decides that tomorrow he'll hang out with her a bit longer. Suddenly he feels a strange presence from behind him. Turning back he sees a slithering silhouette with a camera in hand, a stalker. He runs like hell, determined to be so quick that he loses the stalker before they see where he lives. Night comes, Ichimura already in his bed. He closes his eyes, determined to be more guarded. He needs to be more cautious, he can't let someone like Komori-san get mixed into his troubles again. From beneath the darkness of his bed, the stalker begins wiggling herself out from the confined space, revealing a gasping and red Komori, her breaths low, her eyes crazy, her smile wide and hungry. He decides that today his new life will start and the first thing on the list is to make Komori-san his friend. It'll be fine, he thinks to himself. They talked a bunch yesterday after all. Before heading out his parents reminds him to bring his stun gun and to remember to greet the principal. And with that, he's off. He cautiously makes his way to school, his guard absolutely perfect. Behind him Komori trails a good distance away, sneaking a candid pic with her camera. An infuriated Ichimura realizes that the stalker from yesterday was still trailing him, causing him to start sprinting. Komori delights, sparkling with joy as she admires his figure shrinking in the distance. Komori's stomach grumbles, remembering that she skipped breakfast. She takes a break from her stalking activities to take out a snack from her bag. In her hand was a horrific thing so grotesque that it's censored. Made from random items from her beloved's room, it's a sight that's horrific for all but divine for her. She quickly gobbles the abomination with a smile on her face, delighting in the taste and reaching heaven on earth. As she savors the flavor in her mouth, she comes to a sudden realization. And the realization is that she's just a pervert. The shock makes her drop the Ichimura sandwich, but of course she quickly catches it before it fell to the ground. She begins to regret her actions as she took a good look at herself. She broke into his house, took pictures, and also made an Ichimura sandwich. What the hell is an Ichimura sandwich? She just can't help it, she just loses control when she thinks about him. She begins dreading, what if Ichimura sees her in her disgusting state right now? She wanted to get along with him, she wanted them to be friends, he absolutely cannot find out about this. She continues eating the Ichimura sandwich, finally finishing it with one last bite. It was so delicious that she was in a trance, only snapped back to reality as Ichimura calls out her name. The surprise makes her spit out her snack. Coughing violently as Ichimura greets her good morning and comes closer. She shivers, at a loss of what to do. Ichimura sees her drop her camera and by instinct he kneels down to pick it up, only to witness a shocking sight. In his hand was a digital gallery of nothing but him. Sleeping, running, turning back, Komori starts sweating bullets as the two share a brief silence together. She was tongue-tied with shame and he was speechless in utter shock. Finally, the gears start turning again and he comes to the realization that Komori was the stalker from yesterday and this morning. Komori begins panicking. What should she do? She just doesn't know. It's all real, he yells. He spirals into despair. He is destined to be a victim for life. He thought he made a friend, but it was just his magnetic pull for trouble activating again. His eyes begin to water, breaking because of the frustration, but her voice calling out to him pulls him out. Behind you, she yells at him as the man from yesterday returns to finish the job. He is unable to dodge or deflect the blade with his vest, the knife was already a few inches from his face. Suddenly a burst of slashes stops the man from his attack, screaming as he falls to the ground. A surprised Ichimura calls out to her, but she was in a trance. She asks, what was he about to do with her? Ichimura. She asks again. What was he going to do? She holds the pair of kitchen knives above her head, and then she drops them down with amazing speed and precision, stabbing the ground where he lay like machine gun bullets. She declares that Ichimura's back belongs to her. Finally, she snaps out of her trance again, her anger quelled. She is shocked, realizing that she showed him another weird side of her. She drops the kitchen knives, saying that she only did that to protect him and not because she was some psycho or anything. And she continues, she confesses that she wanted to know him better, she wanted them to get along. Ichimura stands there in shock. Could it be? His eyes shine, appreciative that she wanted to become friends with him. Suddenly he realizes that they're going to be late, and so he begins sprinting to school with a smile on his face. This might be the first time a criminal has made him this happy. Lost in his own world, he fails to see a girl on her way to school too, bumping into her but luckily not tackling her down. The girl is unresponsive as he apologizes. As he took a closer look at her, he realizes that she was the girl that was sitting in front of him yesterday. In a quick motion she puts a gun to his mouth and a knife to his neck, completely taking him by surprise. She tells him, point blank, not to stand behind her. As he tastes the gun in his mouth, he realizes that both the knife hovering his neck and the gun inside his mouth were the real deal. A sudden voice calls out in a panic. The sweaty, disheveled Komori arrives just in time. They both call out her name and the girl quickly gets in between them, causing the girl to take out her weapons. As the tension dies down, Ichimura asks if she was Komori's friend. Komori tells him that the girl's name was Christy Sarah Tsukiko, her childhood friend. Sarah uses her arm to create a distance between the two. She tells him to stay away from Hinako, warning Hinako that the man was very dangerous. He attacked her from behind, something Ichimura quickly denies. She glares at him and declares that from now on he should not come near them again. The small voice of Komori was in disbelief, but Sarah continues. She takes out her gun again and promises that if he ever comes near them again, she will immediately eliminate him.